Hi, this is the third segment of Griffith Thomas' testimony about the authority of the Bible, Strongholds of Truth, published 1914. This time he's dealing with the testimony of adversaries of Christianity. Every opposition to Christianity from the first century has been directed towards the New Testament. Why did men like Celsus, Porphyry, Julian, that is Julian the Apostate, and Rousseau, the French philosopher of the 18th century, oppose it? If they did not think anything of this book, why did they trouble about it? Why did they not leave it alone? And why do not men today leave it alone? Because the Bible does not leave them alone. What is still more important in the minds of a great many is that the best scholarship of our time is bringing the New Testament books back to the first century. I only know of one exception to that rule, and that is the book of 2 Peter. And even this cannot be regarded as absolutely settled, because Professor Hort, that is Fenton Hort of Westcott and Hort, once said that whenever he expressed any doubt of it, he felt inclined to doubt his doubts. And if so great a scholar can say that, we might adopt a similar position. Speaking generally, Harnack, and Adolf Harnack here was the most famous liberal critic of the New Testament in his age. Harnack and quite a number of English and German scholars are pushing back the books of the New Testament to that time at which they have always been held by the Church of Christ to have originated. Secondly, the New Testament is credible. That is, it is worthy to be believed. There are many things that are genuine but not credible. Many works of fiction are genuine but not credible. The Shepherd of Hermas, which is the work of the John Bunyan of the 2nd century, is perfectly genuine but not credible. So the New Testament is not only genuine, but it is worthy of our belief. Why? First, because of the unblemished character of the witnesses. If we examine them, we shall find their characters stand all the tests we can apply. Next, because of the agreement of the facts of the New Testament with the facts of Christianity in the world. Here is Christianity today, with its ordinances of baptism, the Lord's Day, and the Lord's Supper, all independent of the New Testament, and in existence at least 30 years before the New Testament was written. And yet, when the New Testament and they are compared, there is an entire agreement between these facts of Christianity in the world and the truths recorded in this book. Then third, the contents of the New Testament do nothing but good. This is another proof of their credibility. And I would say to those critics of the Bible who accuse it of mendacity that they should drink of its springs, and they will find in its beneficent draughts of grace and truth that which will assure them of its credibility. Again, in the explorations of Palestine, Egypt, and Babylon, go to confirm the truth of the Bible, Old and New Testaments. During the last 60 years, there have been many archaeological researches, and not one has gone against the Bible or proved it untrue. This has been shown by the work of men like Sir William Ramsay, to mention only one out of many. Now, if we have followed the argument so far in support of the genuineness and credibility of the New Testament, we shall be prepared to take the third step. It is a leap, but I believe it is an inevitable leap. The New Testament is divine, supernatural. What are the reasons for this? First, supernatural creation. There is that in the Bible which is supernatural in connection with creation. Neither in the ancient world nor in the modern do we ever get behind the truth of Genesis 1 verse 2. There is not one of the accounts of creation in the old world that goes further back than chaos. They start with chaos, but the Bible starts with God. The same thing is true of modern science. Science cannot reach further back than the nebular hypothesis. But that has to assume two things: the existence of nebulae and the power to rotate. But who created the nebulae and who gave them the power to rotate? The Bible goes further back and starts from God. Second, supernatural revelation. There is a revelation of religion in the Old Testament, whether of the Jewish ecclesiastical system or of the prophets. It is immaterial whether you take one or the other, or both, but no one can doubt that there is a supernatural revelation. A speaker is said to have uttered words, and these words were declared to others and were put down. And whether we have prophets in the later part or the earlier part, there is supernatural revelation. That's the claim of the books for sure. We can add. I'll put a link to F.W. Farrar's great book, The Witness of History to Christ. Farrar wrote at the very same time as Griffith Thomas ministry was proceeding. Farrar was among the greatest intellects of the 19th century, and his book has blessed me and has blessed generations. It's a fantastic ministry that Farrar had, and I wish he were better known, because he has enemies on both sides, like Tom Wright today. He alienates the conservatives and he alienates the radicals. But he's a marvelous scholar. So The Witness of History to Christ is one of his best books, and in the section that we've made a video of, he is talking about the witness of the history of science to Christ, i.e., why is it that the opinions of the greatest scientists that have existed in the last 500 years are ignored in positioning science against Scripture somehow? You ignore the testimony of some of the best men of science who are also great Christians. So I'll put that link on your screen.